Special instructions for action, character introductions. We're going to go over what gets capitalized in action. Whenever you introduce a character for the first time, that character appears in all caps. It's kind of a producer's note. It's actually also an actor's note, just to know where they come in. But more than that, it's a reader's note. If you just start talking about Kelly without ever like, wait, was Kelly the girl that fell on the porcupine earlier, or is she, I don't know, if she's in all caps, okay, Kelly, this is a new character, this is somebody I haven't seen before. That just helps you to keep going. Some people like to all caps their characters everywhere. I think that's supremely annoying. However, in television, each television show has its own rules, and they like to do things their own way, and if they put the character in all caps because the producer needs to know specifically who is in each scene every week because they're making the shot list and they got to figure out who to call, that's the way you format it. But specifically, if you are writing for television, the best bet is to just get a copy of the script, the show you're working on, and write to their format. I'm going to pull up 2 television scripts real quick. I'll also talk a little bit about the differences between screenwriting for film versus screenwriting for television. But let's just jump real quick. I've got a couple here. This is an episode of Frasier. As you can see, Act 1 is shown right there because television is broken into acts for their commercial breaks, obviously. You know each act has to be a certain number of pages. The typical breakdown is 8 to 10 consecutively. In Frasier, they actually outline the plots. So this starts the A plot line, and it's actually right there, the letter A. When they do a scene heading, they underline it. You don't do that in a film script, but again, this is specifically how they want to do it. And it's kind of nerve-wracking, especially if you're trying to get into television, to reformat your script, how each show wants their script formatted. But look, their action is in all caps, always all caps. And you'll see this typically with a studio setup, you know, 3-camera setup type show. We're in a studio. Seinfeld, all their action is all caps because mostly it's dialogue driven. And if we scroll through this script, you'll see that it's practically all dialogue, very little action here. And that's pretty typical for a sitcom. However, I've also got a script from 30 Rock here, and as you're familiar, that is not a 3-camera shoot sitcom. It's formatted much like a regular screenplay. This is a production script, so the scenes have been numbered. When you see these stars on the side, that means that that's where it's been changed or edited. Obviously, this is not the first draft. But this is most like, even here, Liz, all caps, this is the first scene, this is Act 1. Dennis, all caps, this is the first time that these characters are introduced.
Do the edit marks, the stars on the side, do those ever get flushed, or are those kept all the way through, even to the final usage script?
It usually shows up all the way to the end.
What's the value?
Well, by this point, it's been edited by the writers. Once it gets here, this is usually something where they're like, production-wise, we need to make these changes. These are more likely last-minute changes than they are changes to the drafts. Getting back to the important of actions. All right, I've got 3 character introductions here. Interior, Fat Goose Lounge, night. Kelly, a tall, dark bartender, mid-30s, black eyes, rubs down the counter around Jake, a caricature of a hobo clown, only not actually either of those. A man steps out of the bathroom, his boots hit with thunder and his western shirt pulls tight around his pecs. This is Alex. There I've introduced three characters, Kelly, Jake, and Alex. We can already tell from here who the most important character is, can't we?
Kelly.
It's more to describe Kelly, but she's also introduced with Jake. This man has his own shot, Alex. All of these ways work. You can introduce a character, several descriptions. Like you'll see here, this is not even a complete sentence really. There's just comma, 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 more descriptions. It's all permissible because it's all visual. Jake, a character of a hobo clown, that's an image. Alex, we don't actually describe him more than what he wears, but you still get an image of who this guy is, this cowboy coming out of the door. Move down to another example. This is where I was talking about back cave, interior back cave. It's the back cave, it's always dark. We see a chair. It is yellow with a black bat symbol emblazoned on it. In it sits Bruce, a hard ass that can piss vinegar. He is reading the text on the screen when Alfred, a butler with a heart of gold, comes in. Can anybody tell me the difference between these descriptions and the descriptions we just read?
The first ones are more physical. These are more.
This isn't visual.
Yeah.
This is not visual.
Right. This is not visual.
Yeah.
This is a character description that's emotional, works for the reader maybe, but you can't show that on screen. How do you show a butler with a heart of gold on screen, but the first time you see him? I mean, unless he actually has like a gold heart medallion on his chest, and even then, you're like, okay, that's a pretty heavy metaphor. More than that, in this, I wanted to show bad language. Is your enemy. Do not use that word. We could have easily just said, in a yellow chair with a black bat symbol sits Bruce. There's no, that's active language versus passive language. A hard ass that can piss vinegar, we're actually not going to show him do that again. It's just too heavy-handed if he actually did. He is reading the text on the screen. That's terrible. Text scrolls on a screen as he reads. He needs to be doing something. Everything needs to be doing something, not existing. Of course it's existing. We're looking at it. What is it doing? You go to the zoo, you watch animals, you don't want to see them sit there. Yes, there is a tiger. If the tiger is yawning, that's more interesting. Even though he is very tired and that's typically boring, he's still doing something. It is more interesting than a stationary tiger.